After seeing Trolls Band Together in 3D at my local Cinemark theater, I must say, thank you, DreamWorks Animation, for everything you put into this third installment of my favorite movie franchise of all time. After the events of the second movie, Poppy and Branch, who are officially now a couple, attempt to rescue Floyd while reuniting Branch's brothers after the boy band sensation BroZone was disbanded. As you may know, I am a huge Trolls fan since the first movie came out. The first two Trolls movies are my number one favorite movies of all time. And back in 2021, when DreamWorks announced a third Trolls movie in the works for 2023, I was so stoked for it. And guess what? It's already here after the filmmakers worked so hard to make this movie a reality. So yeah, but anyways, today I just saw Trolls Band Together in 3D at my local Cinemark theater on opening day. And what do I think of it? It was amazing! It has everything I've ever wanted for a third installment of one of my favorite movie franchises known as the Trolls franchise. I love it. It was a sensational masterpiece. Now, here are my reasons why Trolls Band Together is an amazing, sensational masterpiece, and why I love it as much as the past two movies, in my opinion. First off, I'm gonna keep saying it again and again. Just like the past two Trolls movies and the Lego movies, I genuinely love how this movie feels like an actual proper movie based on the old Troll dolls, other than being a feature length toy commercial in terms of animation and storytelling. Second, I don't know about you guys, but the story about Poppy and Branch attempting to rescue one of Branch's brothers so they can get Branch's band back together with the help of John Dory is so good and wonderful because that right there sounds like an actual premise that the Trolls franchise would actually use. Third, the animation is fantastic as always. And while improving their animation once again since the past movies came out, there's also a pretty satisfying scene where Tiny Diamond pressed the hustle button after John Dory told him to press it. And guess what? Everything transitioned from 3D animation to traditional animation. This is straight up experimental in the best, craziest way possible. And I love it for that. Fourth, the soundtrack of this movie is by far the best soundtrack in all of Trolls, if not animation history. And the best song in this movie is Better Place by, believe it or not, NSYNC. Yep, I'm telling you all guys right now. If you guys remember listening to NSYNC back then, well guess what? They've returned to make a brand new song for this work of art. And for a movie that has tons of boy band themes in it, this makes logical sense. 5. The characters from the first two movies, like Poppy, Branch, and Tiny Diamond, are still memorable. And the new characters that are introduced in this movie, like Viva, John Dory, Spruce, Clay, Floyd, etc., are also amazing additions to the Trolls characters as well. My personal favorite character that was newly introduced in this movie are either Spruce, John Dory, or maybe all of the BroZone members. 6. The voice acting is extremely talented as expected. That goes out to the new voice actors and actresses who put their own heart and soul into their characters, such as Eric Andre as John Dory, Camila Cabello as Viva, Davy Diggs as Bruce. The list just goes on and on. 7. The humor is surprisingly hilarious compared to the past two Trolls movies, which mostly involves around scenes where Tiny Diamond is imitating as a stereotypical grown-up, or several scenes where Branch's brothers act so playfully on Branch with their usual brother antics. 8. Velvet and Veneer Velvet and Veneer are really quirky yet devious villains in the Trolls franchise. Even when they're this close as Clean Barb from the second movie, Trolls World Tour, and while their malicious motivation is to steal Brozone's talent, the character designs look so exquisite and visually unique. because they look like something straight out of a 1930s cartoon like Mickey Mouse, Looney Tunes, and Felix the Cat. 9. It has a pretty captivating message in the third act that anyone who's been thinking that they're not good enough for everyone can understand. Like the fact that not everything has to be perfect and being yourself is what makes you special. Even Branch said it to his brothers before seeking better place to break free from their diamond prisons. And last but not least, the backgrounds and settings are visually appealing. The best examples are both Mount Rages and Vacay Island. Mount Rages is an ethereal Mount Rages is an ethereal Mount Rages is an ethereal, colorful, modern day city where there's many tons of music genre mentions here and there. And Vacay Island is a relaxing, all inclusive, and enormous sandcastle where everyone can visit and enjoy, like those all inclusive, fancy beach hotels at Hawaii. Now, before I wrap up my review for this movie, do I have any criticisms for this movie? Well, there are some flaws I have with this movie, which some of them were carried over from the first two, especially the second movie, like Branch still looking a little bit bleak in terms of his colors, several absent characters from the first and second movie, like DJ Sugi and King Trollocs, and I personally think that young Branch's relationship with his grandma before she got eaten by a Bergen could have been could have been explored more. But you know what they say, the positives outweigh more than the negatives. Overall, everyone, like the first two movies, I love it. This is the best movie I've ever seen in my life. It's an amazing, sensational masterpiece. This movie is a giant love letter to 80s, 90s, and 2000s music, and it's also a giant love letter to boy bands as well. It even changed my world, not exaggeration. This is now completely my favorite movie of 2023. And most importantly, it's my new favorite movie of all time. Once again, as an autistic person, the Trolls movies will always be with me for many years to come, no matter how old I am. Trolls Band Together is cinema. I give Trolls Band Together a 10 out of 10! So yeah, everyone, this concludes my review on Trolls Band Together, which is my new favorite movie of 2023 and my new favorite movie of all time. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and until we meet again, to quote John Dory, bro going solo, YOLO!